Hey, what's up, Coin Fam? I hope you all are having a great day like I'm having today right here in Texas. I'm Miser, and welcome to the Mint Miser channel, where we give you honest and accurate information about how to identify rare and valuable coins in your pocket change, while coin roll hunting, or even in your existing coin collection. In today's video, we're going to talk about some rare and valuable pennies. Make sure you stick around until the end, because we're going to be talking about a key date penny that even in the lower grades is still worth some really good money if you have one. Don't forget to hit that like button and the bell icon for our weekly videos. Now, let's get this party started. All right, first up is this 1897 Indian Head cent. This Indian Head penny was graded MS67 red by PCGS. This penny's in incredibly good shape, and on top of that, it's even more valuable because of the repunch date. If you look down here at the date, at the bottom of the 9, if you look closely, you can see remnants of a repunched date at the top of the lower loop of the 8 and on the 9 below the lower curve. This is a very rare variety, and this is probably the finest known example. What's a penny like this worth? $45,600. This has come up before, but how can you have a video about Lincoln cent varieties and not talk about the 1955 double die? You don't need any magnification for spotting this one right here. The doubling on this penny is very obvious, and there's no question about it. All of the lettering and numbering on the obverse of the coin, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and 1955. This is one of the most popular double dies out there. And you can tell because this one right here sold at auction for $59,225. And here's one a little bit older. This is a 1922 No D strong reverse, graded MS64 red-brown by NGC. Now there's a couple things to note here. First, the No D. In 1922, all Lincoln cents were minted at the Denver Mint. According to Heritage Auctions, the No D was the result of dressing or lapping a clash-marked obverse die, in the process removing all signs of the mint mark. The other point on this one, the old reverse dies were discarded and a new one was created, as evidenced by the really bold strike right here on the reverse of the coin. So what will a 1922 No D strong reverse Lincoln cent get at auction? This one right here, based on the grade and population, brought in $74,750. Here's an 1899 Indian Head cent. This one here graded MS68 red by PCGS. In this condition, nowadays this would be an amazingly beautiful penny, but the fact that this one here is over 120 years old is pretty incredible. This Indian Head cent sold at auction for $108,000. And how about the infamous 1909 SVDB? This one here was graded by PCGS MS67 red. Another incredible grade for a penny so old. Look at the incredible condition it's in for something from 1909. And here's the reverse right here. Notice the VDB initials at the bottom of the reverse. This 1909 penny sold for $117,500. And how about this 1864 Indian Head penny? This one here was graded Proof 64 red, and it's the variety with the L on the ribbon. Let's take a closer look at the L. If you look at the obverse of the coin, slightly below center and to the right here, you see the L on the ribbon. This 1864 variety, graded Proof 64, brought in $123,375. We talked about the 1955 double die earlier. How about this one right here? This is another very famous double die from 1969. It was minted in San Francisco and graded MS64 red. The doubling here is obvious, but not as obvious as the 1955 double die we looked at earlier. Again, you can see doubling on all the words in God We Trust, the word Liberty, as well as the 1969 date right here. This coin sold at auction for $126,500. And here's another mint error. There had to be some mint mischief going on for this one right here. This 1905 Indian Head cent was struck on a $2.50 gold planchet. I doubt very much that this was a mistake. You can see it struck a little bit off center on both the obverse and the reverse because of the difference between a copper planchet and a gold planchet. How about this transition coin right here? You can call mint mischief on this one as well. This is a 1944 San Francisco minted penny. This was graded MS66. You might already know that in 1943, the government minted pennies on a steel planchet so that they could reserve the copper for the war effort. somehow at the conclusion of 1943, this steel planchet was minted into a penny from 1944. A 1944 on a steel planchet is extremely rare, and you can tell by the fact that this one here sold at auction for $408,000. If you think that's rare, how about this one here? This is a 1943D, and like I just explained, 1943 pennies were minted on a steel planchet, not copper. This one here was minted on a copper planchet. It graded MS64 brown by PCGS, and it sold at auction for almost $1 million. This one here went for $840,000. Now let's talk about a key date. This is a 1914 Denver minted penny. This one here graded about uncirculated 58. Now the 1914Ds have a low mintage, not as low as the 1909s, but this is still a key date right here because the surviving population from 1914 Denver minted pennies is extremely low. In fact, even in lower grades, like this about uncirculated 58, these pennies are still very valuable. This one here sold at auction for $4,025. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.